So today I'm going to do a video on how to change out a tire on the Ducati. As you know, these bikes are built a little bit different and your standard equipment normally won't work for these bikes. People have a hard time getting the nut off on this. I suggest getting one of these because it ain't going to put up a fight against this at all. Another thing you might want to get is a good rear stand. This is made by Pitbull and it's built for the single-sided swing arm. Nice smooth bearing in here. Works very well. Got to step on the back brake to loosen this. But it comes off very easy. And that's your spacer. So of course the next step is to pull your valve core, drain your tire, which I already did. I thought the camera was filming, but it wasn't. And now we take the tire over to break the bead. I actually have a full Harbor Freight motorcycle tire changer, but I've only been using the bottom half of it to break the bead, and I go with another method to actually take the tire off and put it on. Here you want to be very careful not to nick your rims. And these tires are super soft, so the bead breaks really easy. I could probably do it by hand, but there we go. As you can see, it just comes right off. Backside. Now the bead is broke all the way around. Okay, so now the procedure for getting the tire off. These things come in real handy because they will keep the bead down when you're trying to get the wheel off. Take your rim protectors. This tire is nice and hot, so it's actually very pliable right now. Helps to use a little bit of, I call it tire spit. It's actually made from this Nomar tire lube. Come on, don't go back down. Come on in. There you go. That's all it needs. It does not work that easy with a lot of motorcycle tires, but these are really pliable when they get warm. Off it comes. God, these wheels are light. So nice. Normally I wouldn't be worried too much about protecting a motorcycle wheel because they're usually trashed anyways when they get old. But this thing's brand new. So this is the old tire, and as you can see at 3,400 miles, it's starting to show metal cords. They do not last very long. Plus I ride in temperatures that can be over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really hard on these tires. Now this tire I actually had to repair about 1,000 miles ago. Got a big old nail in it, and there was just too much tire left to throw it away. I mean, I've done internal repairs on rear tires quite a few times and they hold up fine, just like this one did. I would never do this to a front tire though. Do not do that. And this is what the other side of that repair looks like. Okay, so these are some of the tools I use now to mount motorcycle tires. Instead of using the Harbor Freight tool, which works pretty good, but this works a whole lot better. This is called the Baja No Pinch. And this thing is amazing. It absolutely works flawlessly. You don't have any chances of really scratching up your rim. And you have just infinite number of settings. It'll work on all wheels of any kind, motorcycle wheels that is. But it really works good. So of course I've had the new tire sitting in the sun, which warms it up and makes it much more pliable. But like I said, these super coursers are so soft, you could even do them cold. But I always warm it up because it just makes it so much easier. And another thing to get right is your rear wheel rotation. You mark it right here so you know exactly which way it goes. Right now it's going the wrong way, but you flip the tire over and now it's going the right way. We're ready to grease the tire up and slide it onto the rim. So now I take a little bit of this tire grease, just lube up that inside. Doesn't take a whole lot. Some tires will take more because they're so stiff, but not these. Let me tell you, that doesn't work on all motorcycle tires. Usually you got to use tools to get it on the rim, even the back bead. Make sure we're lined up on our dot to our valve. And this little tool is what you need to mount and balance because of the giant thing on these. It's like most stuff just doesn't work right. And I did it wrong. Gotta go the other way. That in position. A little bit more grease. The bead started. These keep the other side down in the pocket so that it'll go on easier. Then you take your Baja no pinch. Have to, I think I need the other sides. No, it is this one. Okay, so now that you got this, got the bead started, this will come in handy later to keep the bead from popping out. But you just slowly, you take this Baja pinch, slowly start pushing the bead on. You take your little Nomar tool, start popping it up. And that's it. The tire is on. So now the tire's on, you pop it out, get the bead to set a little better. When you put air to it, now this should set once I put the air to it. now we're going to set the bead. I usually just use an air tool at first, air blower. Slip it in here, flip it on. And it's popping out. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. That was a hard one. But she seated all the way around. Looking good. Yeah, that was a good one. Now we just put our core back in. That's right at 40 pounds. Good enough to start off. So this is a pit bull stand. I got the whole setup to lift the front wheel. It'll also lift from the triple tree if you're going to be pulling the forks off. But it has this rear stand which works on both sides. It takes two different pins, of course, because Ducati has two different sizes. But it holds it perfectly. It's got a big bearing in here so that you can even lube your chain on this stand. And it works really well. Okay, it is balancing time. So I picked up a new balancing system. This one is so much more precision, very smooth bearings. You just use two jack stands for it, and it will definitely do a better job than this old balancer, which works okay, but it really isn't that smooth. I don't think it binds up too much where it will cause balancing problems, but it works okay. But this one is definitely going to be much better. I'm going to like this. Alright, well, got the new balancer set up. It took my biggest set of jack stands for this to work. But let me tell you, these bearings are freaking smooth. This thing took a long time to settle down. But once it finally did, you definitely know where the heavy spot is. See, it's going to go back the other way and then back the other way again, until it finally settles on the heavy spot, which to me is pretty awesome. A lot better than the old one. That one there, man, it stops all by itself because it's got so much resistance. This one don't have any resistance. You see it's going back the other way. And pretty soon it will settle. But it takes forever, which is good if you're not in a hurry. And back the other way. But I know that's going to be the heavy spot once it stops. Okay, well, it's finally settled. It took a long time. I didn't want to film that whole thing because it does take a long time before it settles. But that is definitely the heavy spot at the bottom. So I'm going to add some weight and let's see what happens. So it's settling down, but not in the same spot every time, so it's looking pretty good. It's taken quite a bit of time for it to settle down, but it seems to be pretty close to balance. I can set that weights anywhere and it'll usually hold that spot. This thing is very sensitive though. These are like supposedly very friction-free bearings, so these things like just, they're so smooth. It's really difficult to get these things to settle down, but you know it's balanced, that's for sure. Well, I'm going to call this good. It seems to hold its position anywhere I put it. It doesn't want to settle in any one spot. So I'm thinking this is going to do it. But boy, this is some precision shit right here, man. No joke. That's what I wound up putting on. And it seems to be right on the money. Only a good road trip on the freeway is going to figure out if it is balanced. Hello. Oh, my mom just showed up. You found your way here.
Yeah, I did.